What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? It's been a minute. This is Thoughts of the Week podcast. All right, this is episode 93. I'm gonna try not to be mentioning these numbers, but every now and then I like to point out what episode we in. But you'll always see it on the videos anyway, on the description. But yeah. So we in episode 93. It's been a while since I put out an episode, and the reason why I do that is there's one part of me that wants to kind of be organic, when I put out episodes. And I just don't want to be putting things out, just be putting out. If it's something that appeals to me, if it's a topic, if it's a event that took place, or if it's a topic that I'm feeling, stories going on, and I really want to talk about it, or some things on my mind, then I want to kind of do it organically so it doesn't come off being like, yo, this guy just trying to put out as many podcasts as possible. And so there'll be times when I'll be doing back to back to back to back to back podcasts and then chill for a minute. And there'll be times when I'll just do a podcast one week. You won't see me to the next week, or I might do a couple of podcasts that same week, or I might do 3 or 4 podcasts, maybe day to day, back to back. So that's kind of how my podcast flows, and so yeah, so that's just me, man. Sometimes, like I said, I'm repeating myself, but sometimes I'll be going back to back on things. I might do several in a day, who knows? Or I might just do one day to day to day to day, and then other times I might just be like doing one once a week or twice a week, and you guys get it, all right? I'm not gonna keep repeating myself. But with that being said, there's been a few podcast episodes I was thinking about doing, and I just held myself off from doing it. Sometimes it's because I'm wondering if people really want to hear the topic, but I've realized doing these podcasts that there's always somebody who wants to hear something, even if it's just one. So I might just do the other episode in particular that I was thinking about, because I'm still seeing people talk about it, and that's I call it doggy coin, but I guess it's called Doge coin. Some people might even say Dodge coin. I wanted to do an episode about that because I actually did a little looking into it, and it was something I wanted to point out to folks that might even help them, because it made me, woke me up to some things about the cryptocurrency and investing, I guess, kind of in general. So I wanted to pass that on as well. But that won't be this episode, all right? So I might do it in the near future. Again, it might be one of those times where I might do that, what I'm talking about, tomorrow. There ain't no telling, all right? But anyway, so today, and there's going to be a series of what I'm getting ready to talk about today, is I want to talk about some things that young Black men should know, all right? Young Black men should know things young Black men should know. I was going to put a number to it, like 500 things young Black men should know, or 1,000 things, because it's going to be, I'm going to be doing a series of episodes on different topics, different things that young Black men should know. All right. But to not put myself on, I guess, the pressures of trying to actually come up with 1,000 things or 500 things, I'm just going to leave it at things that young Black men should know. All right. And maybe I'll put like a chapter 1 or chapter 2, or just leave it as is and just have the episode, which is 93 today, and just leave it at that. All right. So you guys get ready, because like I said, today's topic, well, not today's topic, but it's going to be a series on things young Black men should know. And today's topic in regards to that is study personal security. All right. Things young Black men should know. And sometimes even older Black men should know that might not known or thought about it or never crossed their mind or realize it. Some might be in that position. You never know. All right. So today we're going to talk about that. And of course, you know who you rocking with. You rocking with the best. All right. As always, thoughts of the week. Let's get it.
You are listening to Thoughts of the Week.
All right, so things young black men should know. And this is in no particular order. It's just, I've wrote a lot of stuff down, a lot of different topics, and I'll look at them and I'll figure which one I want to rock with that particular day. And so today I want to touch on study personal security, all right, as I'm going to be kind of doing some exercises at the same time, all right? So bear with me here, okay? So before I get a few sets in, things young black men should know, study personal security. All right, study personal security. As my camera is frozen. Okay, very interesting. I'm gonna have to end this. I don't like when it's doing that. It's messed up. Wow. Okay. Okay. Well, I won't end it. All right. Y'all guys, excuse me here. I'm going to leave that all in there. My phone froze up. I'm doing this from the phone, by the way. So I'm going mobile with it using StreamYard. And so, yeah, it froze on me for some reason real quick. I was getting ready to end this video, but I'm going to let it continue on. So anyways, what am I talking about when it comes to study personal security? This is things young black men should know and probably should put into practice whether they really want to or not, because it is something you should know and you should put into practice. So when I use the words personal security, you know, some people have their own definitions and they'll put it in a box. But in this, to me anyway, personal security is going to stem in my book. So when you're learning it from me, personal, and I might use self-protection or personal protection kind of interchangeably with the word personal security. So I might say personal security sometimes, I might say personal protection sometimes, or I might say self-protection. So the meaning of all those words in my book is learning how to fight empty hand, you know, using your hands. And with me personally, I'm into what is called, I'm just put that in air quotes there, self-defense, not and necessarily fighting in the ring. So that means when you're in the street and you're being attacked, anything goes. So you should start learning empty hand fighting or empty hand protection. I'll just use empty hand fighting kind of in a general sense as far as the word fighting, because I don't want, because some people might think fighting, you know, when you start getting around different people are going to play around with these words, and some even get, you know, so upset about using certain words, and it's not really that serious. And it is serious and it's not serious in regards to words, but I want you to get this from me. And so I'm going to use empty hand fighting or empty hand strategies. You need to learn, you guys, every young black man needs to know that. And whether you want to use boxing, whether you want to use martial arts, or whether you into the realistic self-defense systems that are out there, and that's kind of more what I'm into is reality, real world attacks. Whether you argue with somebody and you get into a fight, but that also means you got to learn how to de-escalate and try not to get in those fights. You know, sometimes with folks, sometimes you can't. You have no choice to not get into one. You try to de-escalate with people, but some people just want to get it in, and you're just going to have to take care of the situation. Also, I'm talking about if you're coming out the store and someone runs up on you, tries to carjack you, wants to attack you, that's what I'm referring to when it comes to personal security. Also, personal security in regards to your home, where you live at. You got to learn how to secure your home. You got to also, and I refer to personal security or self-protection or personal protection. Like I said, I'll use those words interchangeably. Also, some of you guys might be dating young ladies, or you might have a wife. And so you got to learn how to, when you're out and about with your significant lady, you got to know how to also protect them as if you were their bodyguard or you were their Secret Service agent. You also need to study that, which is also called third party protection, when you're protecting another person and not just yourself. All right. So you got to come up, you got to create plans sometimes. And, you know, it can be simple things if you want, or you can be real detailed with it. It's all, you know, it's all up to you. But that's what personal security, self-protection, personal protection is in my book. So these are some things you guys need to study on. All right. You need to study on, again, I'll repeat, empty hand, which means you have no weapons or nothing like that. Sometimes you got to deal with you having no weapon and the other person has a weapon. All right. So you got to study those. Okay. Sometimes you have a weapon, whether it's a knife or a gun or a stick, whatever, what have you. You got to learn how to fight with those as well. The other person might not have a weapon, and you might decide to use your weapon, but you also got to understand the repercussions that come with it. You better be able to explain down the road, because you know, if it turns out that you have to kill somebody, unfortunately, if it happens to be that way, you got to also, when I say unfortunate, that means you're going to also have to deal with the justice system. Okay, so you're going to have to learn how to articulate why you did something, the reason why you did it. Okay, so that's important. I'm not going to give much details of that stuff. I do plan on putting courses, different types of courses or memberships together that you guys can join, and I'll be mentioning more as the months go on, where I'll be more detailed and showing you how to do those things. But just for you guys, if you wanted to start doing it on your own, whether you read books, watch videos, take other courses, that's cool. But somehow, some way, start learning how to fight with empty hand. With me personally, but it's up to you how you do it. I like to learn how to use my whole entire body. All right. You got you got shoulders, you got fists, you got elbows. Some people say, like in Muay Thai, they call it the martial art of 8 limbs. All right. So it's your hands is 1, 2, 3, 4, your knees 5, 6, and your feet 7, 8. If I'm not mistaken, that's the 8 limbs. All right. In Muay Thai. So I just say that to say, learn how to fight with your whole entire body. You have a whole entire body that you can use to protect yourself. And so my version of empty hands means just that, learning how to use your entire body to fight, to protect yourself out in the street. Okay. Also, you got to learn how to use weapons of opportunity. All right. And just for an example, if you just happen to be near a weight plate, you need to learn how to grab a weight plate and learn how to use it. All right. You got to learn how to use things in your environment, anything around you. All right. To learn to protect yourself, to grab it and use it as a weapon. That's what I call personal protection. Okay. Some people, you know, you might go to a martial arts school and they'll just teach you the normal stuff, maybe some sticks, swords, stuff like that. But in the real world, learn how to assess your entire environment and learn how to assess what things you can pick up and use right away. All right. So black men, young black men, you need to learn that. All right. Like I said, there's books out there, and don't let anybody put in your head that, I'll say this, understand, you can't just read a book per se and then think you know it all. But still, books have knowledge. So if you want to grab as much, read as much books as you can, on the subjects of fighting with weapons, empty hands, the different systems that's out there, then by all means do so, because there's always something that you can grab. There's also books on and videos and courses on protecting other people that are with you. You might have an elderly grandma or mother or someone who's handicapped or physically not able to protect themselves all the way, and you might be the one that's with them that day, and so you're gonna have to learn how to do that. All right, so there's videos out there on YouTube that you can watch if you want to learn how to do that. Try to grab something and put something in practice as much as you can. All right, so anything, if it's from a book, try to put it in practice and see how it works, see how you can work it out, test things, all right, and see how things work. So don't worry about people telling you, oh, well, you ain't a master in a book. It's not about being a master. You want to be a person who's constantly learning stuff, all right? And that's going to be one thing that'll take you all the way through your life, because you can be 60, 70, 80 and still you have knowledge about personal protection, because it's not just all fighting, but that's an aspect of it. But like I said, with personal protection, I'm looking at everything from a holistic point of view. So that also means planning, because planning is part of personal security. All right. You might go on a trip. You might be going away out somewhere. If it's just to the next city across, you got to do some type of planning. And simply, it could be to the point where you're just researching what types of crimes happen in the location that you plan on going to. All right. It could be as simple as that. So that's all that all involves personal security, not just the physical. Planning things out. You also want to plan, like if you have kids, your girlfriend, your wife with you, and let's say you get separated. You want to plan a particular meeting place in case you get separated for whatever reason. You might go in a mall and people start shooting. You got to learn how to deal with that. That's all part of personal security. All right. It might turn out that your kids might run somewhere with the mom or with the girlfriend, and you might end up somewhere else. And so you already have something pre-planned. Okay, if something does happen, this is where we need to meet at. It could be at the store in the mall. It could be a parking lot somewhere, on the lot somewhere. Say, hey, we need to meet at this bus stop that's on this parking lot, and plan that out. All right. Same thing if you're going for vacation. You might be going to Disneyland or something like that. Plan out where you're going to meet, a rendezvous point where you want to meet at in case you get separated. It might just be the kids might want to do something else, and maybe your girl's going to take them, or maybe you're going to take the kids and your girl's going to go somewhere else. And something happens, you already have this planned out where you're going to meet at in case of an emergency. All right. Also, like I said, with me, personal security is a holistic thing. Covers holistically where you're at home, whether you're traveling in your car, whether you're going out vacationing. If you are alone, you got to be your own personal bodyguard. All right. So you got to learn strategies with empty hands, learn how to assess your environment. In an emergency, you might not have a weapon on you. So you got to learn to quickly assess what things you could pick up right away to use as a weapon. All right. Things of that sort. Same thing if you're with somebody. You might have to do the same thing. You might not have a weapon on you. You might have to look around you and see what you can use at that moment. Right? It might be a carriage. All right. It might be your backpack. It might have some stuff in it, and it's heavy enough. You might have to use that as a weapon. All right. So that's how you got to think the personal security. Also, part of this whole circle holistically of personal security in my book, and what you black men should learn, young black men, is also medical emergencies. All right. You got to know about medical emergencies. Also, look at this. You want to know what you can do at any moment or at any time. Okay. So you could be at a restaurant and someone comes in there, maybe start shooting. You already have to learn some things you can do. Sometimes you got to think in the moment. If this happened, you might be sitting down with your girlfriend, your kids, wife, kids, and you might say to yourself, okay, well, if somebody comes in and does this, what I'm going to do, what will I do then? And kind of play that in your mind even while you're sitting there. Also, you could do it at home where you don't have to put that pressure on you. You can sit at home and just think, okay, if we go here or we go there and this happens or that happens, just run through different scenarios in your brain and just work out how you would handle those situations. That's also personal security. Okay. Home invasions, people breaking in your house while you're asleep. You need to work out that, how you're going to handle things. All right. Even when you're gone, somebody might break in your house or break in your car, and you need to work that out. What are you going to do to make it less of a risk for that to happen? All right. So when I talk personal security, I'm looking at everything. All right. So you should look at it that way too. All right. This is just a suggestion as to when it comes to personal security. So let me see what else we got here, man. I ain't even worked out yet, man. I'm giving y'all some game, but it's all good. So let me get a few sets in real quick. But definitely keep that in mind when it comes to your personal security, all right? Definitely keep that in mind. Look at it from a holistic point of view when it comes to your personal security. I'm just kind of reiterating again, learn your empty hands, learn how to pick up anything as a weapon. As a matter of fact, you might even hear there's a book, I don't know if it's still out anymore, but I have the Kindle version of it, and it was from a Green Beret that talked about you can use anything as a weapon. But you'll hear different special forces or special forces operators say, might speak on that you can use, think in those terms, that you can use anything as a weapon. Same thing when it comes to former CIA operatives, okay? All right, you might even hear some former retired CIA operatives speak on things like that, learning to improvise things and learning to look at your environment in certain ways in order to survive. Right. So that's another suggestion I would also say to you guys when it comes to learning personal security. Look at some videos there's several retired CIA operatives on YouTube, and there's some Secret Service people that's retired on YouTube videos. There's Green Berets, there's Navy SEALs, and some of them give some good information that you can use and apply to your personal security. And then you might also, these same people might have books out, and you might want to consider that as well, reading some of their books and their material where you can start learning how they do things. All right. Because that's another good start as well. Or you might have family members who are in the special forces. That's a great resource as well. Ask them some things about hand-to-hand, empty-hand fighting, learning how to improvise. There's improvised, in my book, there's improvised weapons, meaning you can make something into a weapon, and then there's what I say weapons of opportunity, which means the opportunity just presented itself that, hey, here's something I can use as a weapon. So that's another thing where some people might differ when it comes to weapons, right? Some people might just use the word improvised weapons and make that mean everything. But improvised means you're trying to take something and you're going to kind of improvise it into something else, make it into something else. So there's things you can grab, like you could grab a cord, that's an extension cord, and you can, normally it's just to plug stuff up, you can improvise it into a weapon, right? Or something to choke somebody with, right? And also something to hit somebody with. So you can use stuff like that. That's improvised. And also there's things that are weapons of opportunity. Again, I just have to be sitting next to a weight plate of 10 pounds. This might be all I have available around me to fight. And you got to learn how to use it to protect yourself, how to swing it, how to strike somebody with it. All right. And so you could do that as well. Again, you live somewhere, whether you live in a dorm room at a college, you have your own home, your own apartment, you live with somebody, you got to learn how to protect where you stay. So personal security involves everything about protecting yourself when I use it, or self-protection, or the word personal protection. Whenever you hear me use it, you know what I mean. All right. So I don't want to keep repeating myself and sounding like a broken record. So I hope this has helped you guys out. I hope you take a look at these things that I'm saying, and stay tuned, like I said, because I'll be coming up. I do actually have a course out. I just got to re-put it back up. I was thinking about revising it, but I might not. I might do it at a later time. But I think I'm going to leave it as is because the information in it is still very valid. So just be listening out for that. And, it might be in the description of some of these videos. And yeah, that's about it, man. So again, just real super quick. Personal security, if I use that word, or if you ever hear me use self-protection, or you ever hear me use personal protection, just know that when it comes to me, I'm saying that in the whole, it involves everything involving your personal security. That means you might have to fight with no weapon against somebody with a weapon. You might be able to grab something and use it as a weapon of opportunity against somebody else who already has a weapon. So you found a weapon and fight somebody with a weapon. All right. You might have some time where you can take something and improvise it into a weapon, because you might have to deal with several people that might not have weapons. And so you might have to improvise something to give you that advantage. You might have to, and that's another part of the personal security that I left out, but having to deal with fighting more than one person. All right. So you got to try to learn how to deal with all these situations. And so again, you might have to improvise a weapon to deal with fighting 3 people. They might not have weapons. You might be able to improvise one to fight these people off. All right. You also have people that are with you that you might have to protect. That's part of your personal security as well. Learn how to do that. All right. You might be traveling. Something might be happen during your travel. As you're traveling, somebody might drive beside you, point a gun. All right. Somebody might try to cut you off to get you to stop to try something with you. You could be going somewhere and park, and then somebody comes to approach you as you're getting out your vehicle. You might be at a restaurant, whether by yourself or with somebody. You got to learn how to deal with if situations pop off at a restaurant, pop off at a train station, bus stop. All right. All these things involves personal security. Your home, whether you get home invaded, whether you go on a vacation and you got to deal with the possibility of somebody breaking in your house. You might be at home and somebody might try to break in your car. You got to learn different things you can do to make that less of a risk from happening. All right. All these situations. You might be going to Walmart, and there's been some real shootings at Walmart. And there's been shootings, period, as of late at different nail salons, spas. You guys all know different states, cities, Atlanta, Arizona, Phoenix. It's happened in different cities and different states. So that's what I talk about, or that's what I refer to as study personal security. All right. And again, if you guys want to know how to do some of that stuff, just leave a comment below, man, and let me know. And I'll either put the course that I already have, and there's other courses I'm going to be creating in regards to what I was talking about. And that way I'll know if people are interested actually in that. All right. If you guys are interested. So fellas, my brothers, young brothers, fellas, these are things that young Black men should know. And even older Black men, if you don't know it. All right. These might be some things you didn't think about. All right. So when I say young Black men, I'm saying even including boys as well. Some of these things, young boys should know. Normally, young Black men will be from 18, maybe to 30. And maybe by then you should have this kind of down, but you'll always still continue to learn different personal security strategies anyway. But some young boys might be able to benefit from this as well, from the ages, maybe from maybe 10 on up, 10 all the way up to 80. All right. So this can apply to them as well. But you guys will have to play the video for you because these podcasts are not going to be for kids to see. So it'll be up to you guys if you want your kids to watch these things. All right. All right. So that's it, man. These are the things that young black men should know. And stay tuned because I'm going to be doing other episodes with more things that young black men should know. All right. So with that being said, you're rocking with the best. This is Thoughts of the Week. I'm out of here. I'll see y'all guys next time. Peace. I got to do my outro in here. All right. Video. I'm leaving all this in. I'm not even going to edit any of this. All right. Also, keep in mind, you guys can listen to any of these platforms you see on the bottom here if you guys want to listen to the podcast. All right. Again, you rocking with the best. Thoughts of the Week. I'm out. Peace.